also known as Deborah Henson-Conant, and I am so excited because I have a new project. It's called MERCEDITAS. It is a really beautiful piece, and I have a project called the First 50 Players Project. So this piece has just been released, and I told you about it a few days ago, and then it's for pedal harp. And Lever Harp players said, but what about us? And I was like, well, it's a pedal harp piece. And they were like, but what about us? And I said, well, it's not really playable on the Lever Harp. And they were like, but what about us? And then one of the people in Hip Harp Academy said, hey, the entire cadenza is completely playable on the Lever Harp. And so I was like, okay. And so I sat down and I spent all last weekend creating a Lever Harp version of this piece. Now, I put a link to where you can go and hear the piece and learn more about this project. I am looking for 50, well, actually now more. So first we were looking for 50 pedal harp players, but now we are looking for more people to be the first players to ever play this, and then to share with me a little video, like 15 to 30 seconds of the piece, so that I can see it in your hands. So what I'm going to do in the next few days is come here and play little parts of the piece so that you can see it. And one of the parts that I want to play now is part of the cadenza. Let's see. It has one of my favorite techniques. It's this beautiful little, it's not hard to do. You're just using your two hands in a very, the way they fit together makes this very cool sound. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to literally pull the music up here so you can see it. Let me do this. And I think you can also join the chat. Let me just double check and see. But here's the music. Let me just see if I can see the chat. Yes, I can. Oh, hi, Jeffrey. So glad you're here. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull myself up. Here is the Lever Harp beta version. And let's go down. Oh, it's not here. It's over here. We'll go down. Oh, and here's something really cool. We'll talk about that another time. That's the chart to kind of help you see how the lever changes work and how I make my shorthand for lever changes. You won't be able to see it really up close, but I'm going to take you down to page 9 and you'll get a sense of what's going on with this piece. This is the end of the cadenza. I'll see if I can do it. It's hard. Let's see if I can do this and going into the final melody. So this is the end of the cadenza. Let me take my glasses off so I don't fall off. And here's the melody. That's going back into the melody. So I want to do that again. And I just want to point out that some of the differences some of the things that I did to make this piece different for lever harp, pedal harp, is that I had to shift some things so that I would be able to move the levers. So let me take that music down for a minute and come back. Okay, I think I do that. So the cadenza is all just complete. It's just completely playable. You don't have to worry about it. Whoops, wrong lever. changed. So I'm playing this with one hand. With lever harp, with pedal harp, I would have kept playing with two hands, but I just did that with one hand and then to the melody. And again here, so that I can use that left hand. The other thing that's really cool is learning how to, you don't have to do two levers at once, but you can in that place. So and then again, just the left hand so the right hand, sorry, just playing with the right hand so the left hand can come. And then shifting octaves. So in the original, this went like that. But in order to make it more playable on the lever harp, I don't know, I can't start in the middle of it. It comes up here. And that makes it just so much more playable and not having to worry about so many levers. It's just so romantic. So anyway, that's just one part of it. All right, so I'm happy to answer questions about it. I'm just so excited about this project for a couple of reasons. First of all, in the olden days of the harp, not the olden days, but like the olden days, like when I was young, the lever harp was thought of as a student harp, and you would play the lever harp and then you'd graduate to the pedal harp. And I saw a gorgeous lever harp when I was just starting to play in my early 20s, and I think it may have been a Pruitt harp. It was just gorgeous, and I thought, that is crazy. You know, why do I have to graduate from, you know, this to the pedal harp? Because this is an amazing instrument. What if I were to write concert music for this amazing lever harp? And so I made a commitment to do that right then, right when I started playing the harp. And so my very first piece that I ever published was an Italiana, which was a concert piece for intermediate to advanced players for a lever harp. And so this follows in that tradition. This particular piece follows in that tradition. So it's exciting because even though a lot of lever harpers are sticking with the lever harp and not graduating to the pedal harp, there's not necessarily that much advanced or intermediate advanced material outside of sort of the Celtic realm. And so this piece actually fills that in. It's part of that. And the other cool thing about this piece is that it is a companion piece to Baroque flamenco, which has all these extended techniques, but MERCEDITAS is it's straight in the classical vocabulary. So let me just see if you've got any questions. Thank you, Jeffrey. The other cool thing that we're doing with this project, since I want people, harpists all over the world, to be able to play it, and I know that economies are different all over the world, and so we created so you can pay what you want. There's a suggested price, but you can pay what you want, both for the pedal harp version and also for the lever harp version. And the cool thing is that people who have a lot more means, they're giving more to the project so that people that in other countries or in other situations who don't have as much money can pay less. And so that's a really beautiful, I'm just finding that really beautiful in terms of the harp community and how we, how it kind of takes a world, like it feels like we're a harp tribe all over the world, whether we're pedal harp players or lever harp players. And I'm noticing that that's happening with this project. So if you want to play this piece, come and do it now, because this project, the first 50 players project, so you get the piece, you find a part of it that you love, and so the first video that came in, literally the person played this. And it was gorgeous. That's what they played, and they sent us that video. And then other people have sent us videos that had, more playing more, but it doesn't matter. For me, it's all about seeing it in your hands, like me as the composer, to see it in your hands. So I hope that everyone who's watching this will be a part of this. I put a link to the info page in the post here, and I'm going to come on over the next few days and play different parts of the piece so that you can hear and see how it works. If there's any questions, put them in there, and I'll try to monitor this and come back and answer any questions. And that's really all I want to say. I am just so excited. I did not think it was possible to create a lever harp version of this piece. And when I was playing it over the weekend, as I was working on it, I was like, wow, this is really beautiful. I really just focused on the introduction, the melody, these cadenzas, which are so fun, and then the melody again. And it's a piece that's about 5 or 6 minutes long. So it's a serious, concert piece. And the other thing that's great about it, even if you're not an intermediate or an advanced player, it's really great to look at the techniques. For example, this particular technique, this one, it's in the academy, in Hip Harp Academy, I'm always teaching snippets, little tiny compositional ideas that you can use for improvisation. And this is one of them, but not like that. By the way, one of the things that I did for this piece was to actually put like sort of lever charts at different places so that you don't get completely lost as you're moving through the levers. But this is so cool, and you can try this on your instrument. It has so much to do with, one hand going up and the other hand coming down. And so it comes. It's a really great sound. So what I did here is I'm using an E-flat harp, and I raised the Fs and the A. Yeah, the Fs and the As. So I'm playing a D minor, a D7 with a flat 9. It's a dominant chord. It's in the key of G, so I'm playing a D7 chord. So I've got the F sharped and the A sharped. But what I'm doing is I'm creating this shape. If you've ever taken any of my classes, I'm into shapes versus notes. And this particular shape, it starts with, I only want, if I've got something like this, I don't want to think about every single note. It's not every single note. I want to think about one note, the bottom note. The bottom note is going D, E, C, D, B, C, A. And I don't even want to think of those notes. I want to think, there's a shape there. I'm just going from one note up and leaping down, then one note. Okay, so I've got that shape of that melody. Okay, now I want to add this shape, which is a chord. It's got fifth up from the D up to A with my left hand, and then the F sharp and the D with my right hand. So basically, it's just a D chord. But I'm doing the first note with my left hand, second note with my right hand, third note with my left hand, top note with my right hand. So instead of doing that, I'm doing, these two notes go up, this comes down, okay? So you've got that shape as well. And this is what happens when you put those three shapes together. There's the shape of the chord, there's the shape of the melodic or of the line, and now how I'm breaking the notes. This is what happens. And it tickles your ear because it's going up and then it's going down, and so the ear isn't just following like, oh, I see it's going up. It's just got this wonderful tickling feeling to it. And then you put that D in the bass, add some musicality, so that it feels like it has meaning. And now it's a very, 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 very simple idea that's just expanded into something that's really, really fun to play. But it's not hard once you get that it's this shape or this shape on top of this shape, put in this order, and then you stick this in. I mean, yes, it depends on how you're looking at it. I'm always loving to break things down so that I've got several simple things together rather than one complex thing. So anyway, I'm talking about this because I'm just saying, in fact, I think I can show this to you again, that it's fun just to look at the music and see, where are the patterns? What do those patterns look like? Now I'm going to show you let's see if I can make this larger. Now I'm going to show you that pattern. And you can see that it's a D chord, D, F sharp, A, D. It's just a triad, D, F sharp, A, D. But you've got the 1 and the 5 going up, then the top note and the third coming down, and that's your pattern. And then you see that the lowest note starts defining the melody of the bass, or the pattern of the bass. So it goes da, la dum da dum, and it keeps doing that. Oh, right, it's over here. La da dum da dum, and it's also really interesting because it goes over the bar line, so it doesn't go da 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 dum. It goes da 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 dee da dum. So it creates this other. It ends up creating a sense of complexity just because of how everything fits together. And then you've got this really wonderful, just strong D in the bass. And so this is like, it's so dominant, and it ends up taking you back to the melody. And that also, from a compositional standpoint, it's just very satisfying. So let me see if I can do it like just one more time. So now that we've looked at it and I've kind of taken it apart. So this is the end of the cadenza. Now with just one hand. And I'm like teasing the melody because the melody starts on this note. And then it goes on from there. So that is the end of the cadenza into the final melody in the brand new Lever Harp version of MERCEDITAS. So the link is in the post. I hope that you will join me for this project. I love seeing the music in your hands, what it looks like in your hands. And so this is all about that sense of completion. Now that the piece is written and it's out there, you become part of it. It becomes part, you are part of it. Is your hands are what set it free. I often think of it like the music is like like a butterfly goes into a chrysalis, and in the chrysalis, the butterfly is, it's static. It's not moving around. It's not a caterpillar anymore. It's not a butterfly. It's just like it's in there being like, I don't know what I am yet. And I feel like, in my mind, there's this music, and then I get it down on the page. That's like the chrysalis. And then when you play it, that is, your fingers are like the butterfly that bring it to life. And so it's so meaningful for me as the composer to see that happen, to see it in your hands. And that's why I created this 50, the first 50 players. And we're opening that up to more, because now we have 2 versions of it. And so I just invite you. I would so love to have you be part of this. All right, I'm going to say goodnight. And Sally says, I've been trying it out on my Lever Harp. Helpful having you point out the patterns. Oh, right. Yes, right. We're going to start doing this more and more, is for me to show you the patterns in the music. So you see what I'm seeing as a composer, you see it on your end as a player. And so we're meeting at that music. We're meeting at the sheet music, but then, like I said, you become the butterfly of my caterpillar. I was the caterpillar. You become the butterfly. All right. Thank you so much. I hope to see videos from all of you. And good night. I'll see you again with another part of the piece, hopefully tomorrow. Okay, great. Bye.